Hi, this is Dr. Carol Francis. I'm a clinical psychologist. Today we're going to talk about what you do when you're being exposed to trauma or disasters, whether they're man-made or natural, and the stress and the fear and the depression and the anxiety and panic that you experience. Well, here's some general advice that will help you take stock of your emotions, take care of your basic needs, help others, and get professional assistance. More on that in a moment. But the most important thing to do is to come back to being you. As much as possible, remember who you were, what your life was, and how you were functioning prior to being exposed to the natural or man-made disaster or trauma. Remember the scheduling of your day, the chores that you had to do, and how you took care of your own body and well-being, as well as the lives of those whom you impact. Returning to your daily chores and routine may feel completely meaningless, purposeless, or even undoable, but is one of the first ways for you to retrain your brain, emotions, and your body to get back on track to being you. So now let's go back to that list of general advice, and you'll see that that general advice is extremely helpful in helping you reorient back to who you were, as well as being able to start integrating the experience that you've had into your life, because it will always be a part of what you understand, what you've gone through, and the fears and panics that can erupt inside of you. Take note of this very clear list of general advice that will help you get through recovering from what you have gone through. But now let's shift into being a little more personal, a little more tuned into who you are specifically, because you are uniquely you with your own background, your own psychology, your own way of thinking about things or feeling and processing feelings, your own relationships and set of resources in terms of education, friends, family, psychotherapists. You have a different resource in terms of spiritual tools that you would embrace to help you through difficult times. And you also have a different physical body that has processed stress and anxiety in the past and now needs to learn how to process anxiety and stress and fear and depression in your present. Finally, there are certain laws of change that help us be able to move forward as opposed to staying stuck. They help us integrate tough circumstances, horrible events, so that we can live life still feeling like there's purpose, meaning, and fullness to it. Coming to terms with who you are today will help you select those types of interventions, tools, or techniques that are available for you to have an experience of recovery and healing and moving forward with your life. A way of bringing you back together with this new experience integrated in solidly and positively, or as positively as it can be. By the way, this is called the KISS method of recovery, healing, change, or evolving. First, let's look at your own psychology. The first step is to come to terms with your own psychology. And one factor is how you respond to your emotions. So you're going to feel angry and grief and fear and love, and you're going to feel helplessness and powerlessness and hopelessness. A whole series of emotions will come and go. So you want to allow your emotions to come and go, rise and fall, swell loudly and recede quietly. Don't attach to any one feeling. Instead, allow them to move like you would watch a brook in front of you with the water running from left to right, or a movie that's playing in front of you. Feel the distance from your emotions to the best of your ability while you observe and experience them. Because your emotions are not there to control you or even steer you. They're there to inform you about what's going on around you and inside you. Be gentle with yourself. Be gentle and respectful with others as well. Know what you can change, and realize that what you can't change may make you feel powerless and helpless and sad. Also, grant yourself an opportunity to go numb, neutral, or become stoic about feelings off and on, or maybe for a period of time. Don't stay stuck in being numb and stoic, but allow yourself to have a break from how you feel by a myriad of distractions or just pulling back from the intensity of your experience. We'll talk about that more in just a moment. Remember, being at peace takes practice, especially after a trauma. Next, let's talk about how you can harness the powers of your physical body to integrate and overcome the stress, anxiety, fear, and panic that trauma and disasters can stir easily inside you. And the first place to go is breathing deeply. In fact, breathing deeply is the first thing people stop doing when they're in the midst of having a panic attack. While you're listening to the rest of this video or this audio, start breathing very deeply and very rhythmically, and occasionally you may close your eyes just so you can still yourself into your body, oxygenating your brain and every cell that is there to support you in your recovery. But also remember that there are other ways that you can help your body recover. Eating healthy foods or foods that are given over to relaxing you, maybe like turkey or warm milk or even wheat buttered toast. Sometimes even sugars help an individual relax because it makes them sleepy. For other people, sugar makes them feel very stressed and edgy. Don't forget the supplements of minerals and vitamins and herbs are available to you as well. And for those of you who love scents and smells, the essential oils can move into your skin or surround you with relaxing sensations that tell your brain and body to ease up, chill out, relax. Exercise, too, is actually considered one of the most important things to do alongside talk therapy to overcoming depression and in assisting you in anxiety. And finally, sleep. Sleep is something your body needs for the growth hormones to come back, the recovery to take place, and for your brain to literally integrate the intensity of emotions you have gone through, including the unpleasantness of nightmares. And if sleep is kind of eluding you, there are ways on this list that you might consider as well to help you so that you can have a recuperating rest as frequently as possible. The third dimension of who you are that will help you recover is how you organize relationships in and out of your life that help you recover. The primary research does indicate that professionals do help individuals recover in such a fashion that the residual impact of trauma and stress does not take hold or kidnap your brain and your body on a long-term fashion. In which case, consider getting in contact with a psychologist, a counselor, a life coach, a psychiatrist, a medical doctor, as well as groups that meet together. Those groups may be memorial groups or groups of individuals who have experienced exactly what you have experienced or traumas that are fairly close in kind. We also find that for many people, random acts of kindness towards strangers or people that they know and love actually help steer an individual into feeling more powerful in their life and more purposeful, even though there's been trauma. It is as if the trauma has released a recognition that love and kindness is now more essential than ever. For other individuals, they withdraw from human contact because they don't want to relive, restate, re-explain what it is they've gone through, or they just don't have the wherewithal to handle all the multifaceted dimensions of relationships. If you were perhaps more introverted in your way of understanding the world and interfacing with relationships, chances are withdrawal may prove to be a peaceful place for you to recuperate who you are. But if you do withdraw, remember to reach out on some sort of social level that lets you know that you are not alone and that you do not have to go through this feeling like you're the only person completely stymied or paralyzed by what you have experienced. In the fourth dimension of who you are, which involves your style of thinking, doing, being, learning, the way you organize your time, and the way you move yourself into being motivated, is the next dimension that helps you through trauma. We're going to focus on one aspect of these styles, and that is the style of doing. Because we find that when a person is in trauma, they tend to be paralyzed or frozen, and the very act of being creative and inventing or making something beautiful or giving gifts is empowering and moves them into mobility of change, re-engaging into the world. So consider whether or not you're going to garden or paint or sculpture, do woodwork or flower arrange. Maybe it's time for you to clean your house or repair household items. Maybe you need to write or sing songs or even write lyrics or play an instrument. Perhaps you cook. And if you do, include the fragrances of cinnamon and curry, cardamom, cloves, chocolate, mint, or butter, as they are stress reducing. Invent something that will help you or others. Make some gift and make something beautiful. If you need to disengage from the news and social networking that aggravates your stress and your fear and your powerlessness. Distractions are good when you're not able to ease your mind otherwise. So distract yourself from by whatever actions, movies, televisions, music that causes you to shift into action away from the thoughts and feelings, the memories that may be plaguing you. The fifth dimension of who you are that will help you recover is your collection of spiritual tools and beliefs. I'm not talking about any one specific denomination or orientation, but instead the ability to pray in your way, to chant mantras, or to move in a spiritually oriented way that moves your body soulfully, like in Tai Chi. Meditations take on all sorts of forms. There are so many that are short and long, and there are a lot of tools that are on applications for your phones. You might check on Mind Valley or HeartMath or Headspace, for example, to help you out. And I also have YouTubes that are all about being able to release and relax and shift into meditation. Now, self-hypnosis is another spiritual tool that's also a psychological tool. And there are hundreds of ways of hypnotizing yourself that will enable you to sleep, be numb, be relaxed, be released, to travel mentally to a comfortable place. Now also know that you're going to be angry, confused, and upset. And so if you need to argue with the God of your mind or the God in your faith, then do so. Talk it out. Be straightforward. Be real. Don't lose that side of you that's there to help you think about the bigger items such as, why not me? Or, is there a God? And if there is a God, why would a good God allow this to happen? Or what is the purpose of a life that can have those type of disasters? Another aspect of spiritual tools is that of moving into nature or music or any experience that allows you to have a sense of awe or reverie. My particular way of doing that is through sunsets and walks among the trees where no one else has gone. The last dimension we will talk about to help you through the trauma is you reaching out to the teachers or mentors that know how to help you walk through this, integrate it, heal and recover, and come out the other side of it a stronger, better person. In a sense, these individuals know how to help you train your brain, your body, and your emotions so that you are in charge of your body and your brain, your mind, your soul in charge of your body and your brain, as opposed to you being reactive to the traumatic events that have impacted your body and your brain. Once again, do not hesitate to reach out to professionals. You wouldn't take your car to a gardener and say, fix this. You would take your car to a qualified auto mechanic. It is no different with your panic and your anxiety, your depression, or your stress. Take the burn that exists inside of you over all this trauma. Tell yourself to go to work and stop the craziness so that you can move back into doing something today that your future self will thank you for. Remember who you are, all of who you are. In this model, all 8 aspects of who you are. And now let's take a moment. Let's take a moment of shifting into one of my reveries, one of my peaceful places, the beauty of nature, a sunset that touches all of us on this planet, whether we have been traumatized or not. I'm Dr. Carol Francis. Thank you for taking this in. Replay and repeat and stop so you can write down those particular items and tools those techniques or interventions that will specifically address what you're needing today or what you're needing next week or the months to come. I'm Dr. Carol Francis. Take care, take very good care of yourself and those around you.